March orders up 37% from February sounds like an extraordinary event, but it isn't, and let's talk about why. Hi, I'm Pat McGibbon, and I'm here to talk about the U.S. Manufacturing Technology Order Report for March. March orders were up 37% from February, and at first glance that sounds great. But in actuality, March orders have been up over February by double-digit figures for each of the past 10 years. And why is that? Because March 31st is the end of the fiscal year for a significant portion of our industry's companies. As they try to push orders up, decrease inventories by getting shipments out the back door to make their balance sheets look better, March always tends to look better than February. It's the end of quarter, end of year for so many of our companies. But that doesn't mean things are going south. Actually, as we look out over the course of the next 5 to 6 months, we're still on track for having a rebound in manufacturing technology orders sometime towards the end of the year. It's just going to have to be patient. We expect the orders at the end of the year to be on a really strong growth curve and carry themselves into 2017 and make 2017 a great year. As far as how 2016 is going to fare with respect to 2015, we see at AMT it being relatively flat. And most of the analysts are looking for either a modest growth or for it to be flat as well. So we're right on track. We're right on the way to the path to see orders beginning to turn around as we come out of IMTS. And certainly IMTS is going to help boost those orders up as well. It always has been. Now what's on that horizon that we're looking at that we're being optimistic about? Let's start with the Purchasing Managers Index. For the past 2 months it's been over 50. And an index over 50 signals that manufacturing is expanding. And we already see it beginning to have an impact on suppliers of parts and materials in the supply chain. So it's just a matter of time before it translates into further investment in capital goods like manufacturing technology. And that's just something that AMT's been saying over and over since December. Also, one of the things I find very interesting is that we've seen some of the spotty areas, see spotty orders in some of the areas we haven't seen any activity over the last 6 months. For example, off-road and highway construction equipment. Been almost flat as a sheet of ice and nearly as cold. But in the past month, we've seen some activity, some significant activity across different regions of the U.S. So there's order activity coming back there. Not enough to get a blip on the screen, but at least some optimistic turns there. Same thing is happening in energy as well. We've seen some renewable energy investments as well as some traditional energy investments. Now again, it's not enough to make a blip, but it is a signal that some things are beginning to thaw in some of our softer, spottier markets. Then also, while oil prices, as low as they are harming the energy investment part of our business, it is creating growth for other sectors. For example, there's been an uptick in the number of trucks and SUVs that are being bought by consumers. And automakers are having to readjust their resources and making some additional investments to be able to deal with that demand. And something you probably hadn't thought about is that lower oil prices get people into boats, snowmobiles, ATVs, and companies like Polaris Industries are seeing that their demand is beginning to rise. So two areas that typically have been pretty good for us but are doing a little better now as a result of oil prices being lower. But we still see drags on what's going on with manufacturing in the United States. Russia and China are having a significant drag on the global trade. Russia is a major buyer of European goods and products, and them being slower is creating a softer trade issue with the EU. And for us, and for a good portion of the rest of the world as well, China has been a fantastic source of product and also of buying materials and components for putting their products together. And their effort to restructure their economy, to move away from rapid growth in manufacturing to consumerism, is a double-edged sword for us. It means there's a slowdown in some of the traditional things we supplied them, but on the flip side, the manufacturing sector there to satisfy their consumer demand, producing more consumer products, is beginning to grow. And that's typically happening not along the coast, but towards the middle of the country. And there's some great opportunities there. And we'll be talking more about that in future renditions of this report. Then there's the currency manipulation. It's made the US dollar stronger than it probably should be. And that's had a negative impact on exports. We don't see that changing a great deal over the course of the next 6 months. But in spite of that, changes in manufacturing processes, increased productivity in our manufacturing facilities have helped to offset that manipulation and still keep us in the export game. In fact, the first quarter exports for machine tools was up 17% from where it was the first quarter of 2015, and imports were actually down by 5% for the first quarter of 16 relative to 15. Some good news to finish it up with. So what we're saying is this. We don't see the end of the decline that's trend from the latter part of 2015 into 2016 till late summer or early fall. We see that in the fall, beginning of the winter months, a burgeoning market in the manufacturing technology sector that will last into 2017 and help make 2017 one of the better years we've seen in the past 5. And with that, I'm Pat McGibbon, and I'll be back next month to talk about the U.S. manufacturing technology orders for April.